Hi everyone, this is Debbie with Organic Oasis. So I just received my digital smart canner and I'm excited to unbox it with you today. Let's see what's in the box.
I just thought.
Let's see, wow, it's heavy. Let me see if I can get this out. Here it is. It's wrapped in plastic. And let's see. It's quite heavy, but manageable. It's actually pretty nice looking. Electrical cord. So here we go. Here it is. So here is my new Nesco Smart Canner, and I wanted to show you, this is my Ninja Tender Crisp that I use. It does everything. It air fries and it pressure cooks and broils and bakes. But I wanted you to see the size difference. They're about the same size, and my Ninja they're probably the same weight. And so just so as a comparison in size, this I've left out on my kitchen counter for years. I use it all the time. This, I will not be able to leave it out on my counter. I can't have two big machines on my counter. I wish I could find a machine that does everything and I could just have one, of these sitting on my counter. But for now, my pressure cooker will come out when I'm canning, and then it'll go out in the garage when I'm not canning. This is still gonna be sitting out on my counter because I use it all the time. So let's see what's inside here. So if I open this up, there is a pot that can come out. This really reminds me of my pressure cooker, my Ninja Tender Crisp. So it has this insert, and it comes with a stop. Please do not return this item. Call customer service if you have a problem. The book, instruction booklet. And it looks like there's some trays. Okay, so here looks like the pressure cooker. When you're pressure cooking, you would use this one. And then this looks like if you're canning, you would use, if you're doing a water bath canner, using this as a water bath canner, you would use this one. I haven't read the instructions, but I'm assuming since I've been canning, I have lots of equipment. Oh, and here are the little weights that come with it. I have an old water bath canner, and then I have the Presto pressure canner, and I like both of them, but I wanted something digital so I could just put it on and like go to sleep and not worry about it. Okay, so it looks like one of these came on here. This is the weight. It looks like there's one that's installed on here. Let me see if you can see it. I'm gonna get this like here so you can see. Okay, on this, there is a weight that's on here already, and it's not easy. It's not just popping off. I'm not just able to pull it off here. But it comes with this green one also. So I need to read the directions on how to switch it out. But I already know one of these is going to be for low altitude, living in a low altitude area, and one will be for high altitude area. And since we're here in California, I'm going to be the low altitude. So I just need to figure out which one of these is which. And if I have to change this, I will tune you back in and show you how to change this out, because it's not easily popping off. Okay, I need to read the directions. All right, and then here it has a little silver thing on it, and this says basically, caution, please read the manual carefully. Okay, exhaust and airtight. So they're just giving you a little, showing you how to turn this to exhaust, which direction to go for exhaust, and which direction to make it airtight. Okay, and Oh, and then this opens and closes like this. It doesn't look like it comes off, but it does open and close by just turning it. Similar to my Ninja Tender Crisp. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm moving on. I've got pounds of tomatoes I have to process today. I think I'm making enchilada sauce. And then when it comes time to canning it, I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna come back and show you step by step how I do it. But before I go, let me just point out one thing that I found really exciting and cool, which my Ninja does not have, nor my Presto Canner. But inside it has cup measurements, which I think this is really nifty. I don't know if you can see, but when you're putting your water in, you can just like, rather than measuring with cups, you can just fill it up to the line on here. One thing when I opened the box, I didn't really show you the box, but as I was getting ready to throw this out into my recycling area, I noticed some things on the box that I wanted to show you. It's just an advertisement and sort of what they're focused on here with this canner. They're saying here that it has 10 built-in safety features, and they're trying to market this as a safer way to can than the old Presto canners or water bath canners. So that's interesting. Let's see if it's real. Here, over here, they're showing they have the aluminum alloy nonstick inner cooking pot, includes a steam rack, canning rack, and 2 removable pressure limiting valves. Oh, green for high elevation and black for low. And then over here, fits up to 4 quarts, wide mouth jars, up to 5 pints, wide mouth jars, or 16 4-ounce jelly jars. So this is quite a lot smaller than my other canners. Let's see. And then here, what it says on the box is, the popularity of canning continues to grow, and the Nesco Digital Canner makes it easy to get started. Designed with safety and simplicity in mind, you'll soon be canning jellies, pickles, beans, and more. A stock pantry gives you a feeling of comfort knowing a meal is just a jar away. And you'll be more assured knowing you have control over the ingredients in the food you are preserving and consuming. Whether canning for gift giving or meal prepping, the Smart Canner lets you set it right and forget it. Okay, and one more side. So this side, here we go, is going to show you here that it's 1200 watt stainless steel base, digital control panel with LED display, and settings for pressure canning, water bath, low, high, pressure cooking, slow cooking, browning, and steaming. Okay, well, it still can't replace my Ninja that I have because my Ninja Tender Crisp does air cooking, does air frying as well. Plus it has a dehydrator built in and yada, yada, yada. So to be honest, this will never, unless they really add a lot of more features, cannot replace my Ninja Tender Crisp. But that's okay. If it can do all these other things and it can can safely, then maybe I'm gonna be excited. So we'll see, stay tuned. Hi, so as I'm doing the unboxing of the Nesco Smart Digital Canner, I want to go into some more detail. I was a school teacher, an elementary school teacher, and I know that people learn in different ways, and I've done some unboxing videos and people have said, thank you, I have ADD or ADHD, and watching somebody is much easier for me than reading the instructions. So I'm going to get into a little bit more detail here with this book, with the instruction and user guide. So follow along. Okay, so here are some of the components of this. Up here is the lid handle, the lid, the pressure regulator, the handles, one on either side, the stainless steel body, the control panel, the lower base body down here. And inside there's a removable silicone gasket, which it's right here. And it does come off, and you do have to change it out every, I think it's every year. On most pressure cookers have these, and you have to make sure they're clean, and then you have to replace them. It's an easy thing to do. You just pop them out and pop them back in. I'm not going to take this out because this is brand new, but it is easy to do it. There's a removable inner pot with a non-stick interior, the steaming rack, which is this one, the canning rack, which is this one. And then they have this is the black, this is a black 10 PSI black pressure regulator, or they call it a jiggler, for use at below 1,000 foot elevation. This also comes with a green one. And the green one is 15 PSI green pressure regulator jiggler for use at or above 1,001 feet elevation. So now I'm going to show you how to remove this pressure regulator, or we'll call it a jiggler. This is the float valve here. The float valve will show you when there's pressure in the machine or not. So when there's no pressure, the valve is down, and when the pressure builds up, a little button called the float valve, it pops up. And so one of the ways I figured the easiest way to show you how to remove this is make sure this little pointer, their little pointer on the jiggler is pointing towards the float valve, okay? Now all you do is you take it and you just lift it up like this. The first time I did it, it flew off and landed on the ground. But anyway, you kind of pull it up like that. Okay, got it. Now, if you're over 1,000 altitude, you would put the green one on. So then you just stick it in the same position and you pop it down like that. Okay, but I'm less than 1,000 altitude, so I need to remove this, and I'm going to put my black one back on. That's for under 1,000 altitude, and I just stick it. Make sure this little pointer is pointing towards your float valve, and now push it down. Now in the instructions it says, during the canning process, hot steam will continuously be released out of this pressure regulator. So make sure that nothing's above it. So don't put it under your counter, your cabinets, where the steam is going to go up and maybe warp your wood on your cabinet. Keep it out where there's nothing above it. And keep your hands and face away from the steam that's going to be coming out of here. Actually, I'm reading the directions here, and it says, before using it, they want you to take the gasket out, and they want you to wash it in warm soapy water, dry it, and then put it back in place. So I will do that now, and you can see how I do this. So you just gently remove it. I'm gonna go wash it in soapy water, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I washed it in soapy water, dried it, and now I'm putting it back in. So it just sticks here, and like that, you just press it. Make sure it goes around the little metal that's there. It's really, if you own a pressure cooker already, like an Instant Pot, it's really the same process. Not a big deal. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's a little sticky. So I've been trying to get this silicone gasket back in, and it's been really hard on this one part up here. So I went ahead and I took my spoon with this rounded edge so I don't puncture it, and I kind of pressed it in, and I was able to get it down in there, but it was not easy, and it was not like my Instant Pot or my Ninja pressure cooker. So I'm not sure why they've made it so difficult to get this back in here. But you don't want to puncture it by using a knife or something, but I did use a spoon and it did work. So now it's back in. But I had to use this tool to do this. So I don't know if everyone has the same problem. But anyway, it's back in now. So basically, it talks about how to close the lid. By twisting this, you can close it. There's words here that say open, close, so that's open now. And if you turn this to close, it closes. And if you try to operate the machine with the lid open, it will actually say lid open on this display, and it'll beep at you for 3 times. Okay, so I just figured out that there is a way to dismantle the lid, and that would have been much easier to put the silicone back in with the lid off, but I just figured that out. So there's this little hinge here, and basically what they tell you to do, okay, So you have to have, and you will see here, if I can show you, here, there is also a piece. There's like a little tunnel, and this piece over here fits into there. But in order to make it work, you have to have this just at the right angle. So if you can put it at the right angle, this will slide right back on here like this. Let me show you from this angle. So if you want to take it off, you would lift it up and you have to slide it just at the right angle like this to get it off of that little hinge or piece, little whatever it is. Anyway, and then you can put it back on, but it has to be tilted at just the right angle to make this work. It was tricky to figure out how to do this, but there we go. It's on now. Okay. Whoops. Actually, it's not on. Let me try one more time. There we go. Okay. There. It's now back on. I hope this video is helping you and not boring you to death, but basically the rest of this, I'm looking at this, it's just telling you to follow safe canning guidelines by the FDA guidelines, and the canner will hold up to 4 quarts wide mouth jars, 5 pints, or 16 4-ounce jelly jars. And that is it for unboxing this digital 9.5 quart digital smart canner, Nesco. But now it goes into how to water bath and how to low pressure can. And I think that's too much for this video. I'm gonna break the video into parts and make this just the unboxing of the machine. And I've got a whole batch over there of enchilada sauce I have to can. I'm gonna make another video on how to do that. That way we're not becoming attention deficit. Hi, so I'm really disappointed that I'm going to be returning my new Nesco 9.5 quart digital smart canner today. And yesterday I was so excited. It was coming in the mail. I had received it and was very, very excited. And part of that, I think, is all the hype on the internet and on the chat groups that I'm on about canning and how the Nesco is this great machine, wonderful. And when I looked on Amazon, I realized it's like an 80-20 mix. 80% of people love it and have good success, and 20% don't. And I guess I'm one of those 20% that did not have a good experience. One of the things that went wrong right off the bat was when I opened the machine, it had this seal that they tell you to remove, wash it, and dry it and put it back on. I could not get it back on. I ended up having to use a spoon. It seemed that one side, the metal that holds it in place, was closer to the lid rim on one side than the other. And I just could not use my fingers or my hands to get it in, and I needed a spoon to like push it up. So that was one problem. It seemed faulty. And then I attempted 3 different canning processing times last night. I did can my enchilada sauce. The first batch, I had 4 pints or 5 pints in the machine, and the machine ran through the cycle where it's building pressure, heating and building pressure. Then it goes into the E10 cycle, where E stands for exhaust and 10 stands for 10 minutes. So it's the 10-minute pressure venting cycle that is required when you do pressure canning. And so mine, it started at E10 and it went to E9, and then it started the spiraling. And then after a while, it just went to my countdown, which for my cans was 20 minutes. It did that one time. And then in the instruction book, it basically said if that happened, it's probably because the water you put in, that you filled up the 8 cups that's required inside the canner to start the pressure canning, was too hot. So they said redo it with lukewarm water. So I let the machine cool down, replaced the water with lukewarm water, ran the cycle all over again, and basically the same thing happened. Then I had another batch of enchilada sauce I needed to run, so I tried it a 3rd time, same thing. It went from E10 to E9, and then it stopped and went to the countdown. So this morning I called Nesco, talked with the technician, and she basically said it would not start the countdown unless it was pressurized correctly and hot enough. And she assured me that my cans would all be safe. that they were canned and they had canned the proper time at the proper temperature, and not to worry about that. But she said, I need you to run a cold water test. It might be something wrong with the heating elements. And so she had me run a test with cold water and a jar filled with cold water in a cold water, 8 cups of cold water and a 5-minute cycle. And the same thing happened. It went from E10 to E9 and then started the wonkiness. So she basically gave me 2 options. She said you can return it to the store you purchased it, which was Kohl's, and get a full refund. Or she said you can cut the cord, snap a picture of the machine, send us the cut cord picture with your receipt that you purchased it, and we'll just send you a new machine. So after thinking a lot and just reading and watching every YouTube video out there on this Nesco, I just decided I don't want to deal with it. I have my Presto, my very good Presto pressure cooker that I've had and been using successfully. I'm going to stick with that for the time being. You know, I wanted the new technology. I was excited because I thought it would give me, I figured it would give me a couple hours of extra time in my day, on my canning days. I could leave it and go on and do other things. But now I'm just a little uncomfortable with using this. Even my enchilada sauce that I canned with it, even though she assured me it should be fine, there's a question mark here. So, you know, I'm just not comfortable. I think I love technology. I think I'm gonna wait. Maybe I will try the Instant Pot pressure canner. Maybe I will try the Presto pressure canner in the future. But I think I've had enough with this. It was my first time trying and it was a fail. So I'm just letting you know, you may buy one and have great success. I know there is a YouTuber that tested all 3 of the canners that I'm talking about, and this one was the one that passed the tests. So everybody likes Nesco because it supposedly passed all the tests and it's the safest canner, digital canner. But 20% of us out there have had problems with the technology. It's just probably not there yet. Maybe in a few years they'll make a new one and they'll upgrade it and it will be great and wonderful. And so I'm not being totally pessimistic about it. I'm hoping that I end up with a digital canner at some point and I have great success with it. But this was unfortunately not my time for this to happen. So good luck and thanks for watching my videos.